This is one of the most advanced satellite control centers in the world. It channels information securely and instantaneously from anywhere to anywhere on the planet. It might be intelligence on an enemy's whereabouts or the authority to open fire. Throughout military history, the difference between winning and losing a battle has frequently been the ability to deliver the message faster or more accurately than the enemy. That is the job of the Royal Corps of Signals, and the key to its success rests with the professionalism, courage, and determination of the signallers who have served and continue to serve in the Corps. The Corps of Signals was established on the 28th of June 1920, and the royal title was conferred by King George V on the 5th of August. The Royal Corps of Signals had proudly joined the Order of Battle of the British Army. The Royal Signals had an urgent new task: to upgrade the Army's communication system to deal with mobile warfare across the world. As British and Allied forces steadily took the fight back to the Germans, signallers quickly learned new skills. They played a part in winning the air battle. They communicated with agents behind enemy lines. They were involved in clandestine operations and Allied resistance. They worked alongside the Navy, RAF, and Special Forces. The Special Operations Executive, SOE, carried out clandestine actions including coding and signals work. The traditional job went on too, laying telephone cables at breakneck speed in the North African desert and wherever else the Army went. Behind enemy lines, a long-range desert group, which was set up by Major Ralph Bagnold, Royal Signals, had an impact out of all proportion to its size. It staged daring reconnaissance patrols in the desert behind enemy lines. From the intelligence gained, the Allied commanders were able to plan attacks on enemy installations by the SAS, RAF, and artillery. Signallers were at the heart of reporting the information gained over secure radio links and also confusing the enemy by broadcasting false traffic. Behind the scenes, signals expertise was used by the Y service to record secret enemy Enigma-coded messages and then pass them quickly to the UK for decoding. Bletchley Park in Buckinghamshire was the spearhead of this work. Other Royal Signals units simulated the radio traffic of whole army groups to deceive the enemy into committing assets where they didn't need them. The signal's finest moment was with the Gloucesters at the Imjin River, where they held off 3 divisions of the Chinese army for 3 days, effectively saving their brigade from defeat. The Royal Signals Rear Link Detachment maintained communications with Brigade HQ until the bitter end, only destroying their equipment when the Chinese forces were almost upon them. In Malaya, the army fought and won a guerrilla war against communist insurgents in the jungle. Queen's Gurkha Signals, who had been formed in 1954, played a vital role in winning this tough jungle war. Throughout this period, signallers were also providing vital strategic telegraph communications to many bases around the world as conflict after conflict unfolded. Some a direct consequence of the Cold War, others with roots going back much further in time. In all of them, the Royal Signals gave the British Army an edge that helped ensure it was never defeated in action. The Cold War itself ended in 1989, when the citizens of Berlin tore down the wall while the Guards looked on. To have reached this point without all-out conflict was an extraordinary achievement for which the British Army can take considerable credit, in particular the Royal Signals, who were always in their war role even when on exercise. Well before the end of the Cold War, Northern Ireland was proving to be the bitterest and most dangerous operation the Army had faced in peacetime. The challenge of working in an urban environment against a sophisticated and often invisible enemy was new. It required fresh thinking and considerable courage. Specialist skills were once again needed, and Royal Signals were at the forefront of developing military communications technology to defeat the terrorists. The Falklands War was very different. Here the enemy was a visible military force, but thousands of miles away, and with no convenient neighboring territory from which to launch an attack. Signallers serving with the SAS were among the first in before the task force landed, relaying back information for commanders to plan their strategy. As the invasion got underway, the Corps provided tactical communication on the ground, but also used satellite links to take in intelligence and communicate back to London, which was the first time this had been done in conflict. Military communications have evolved to an astonishing level of sophistication since the days of smoke signals and barefoot messengers. And since the digital age began, the pace of change has been breathtaking. But one thing no one can do any better than previous generations is predict what lies around the next corner. The only certainty is that the best preparation will still be the ability to adapt and learn. The necessity to control communications on the battlefield is the very reason for the existence of the Royal Corps of Signals. And so it shall remain, certa cito, swift and sure.